Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final stint of the 24 hours of the Grüne Holland of the Nurburgring, hosted by the Online Racing Association. My name is Kian Butler, and I am your host for this final stint here on the Lightspeed Network. We are in the lobby. We are about to get underway. The time is 9:08 p.m. in Australian Western Time, which is GMT UTC +8. We are currently waiting to get on the way. Unfortunately, it looks like I will be the only one of the commentators for this stint, as the other one who are supposed to be here, Chaos Fox, is indisposed of in his other lobby's race, because they ended up running a little bit behind in the stint before. So far we've had a bunch of great racing in this event. Yeah, I mean... It's really been quite interesting so far. Looking at the text scroll that we're going to try and set up here in just a second, if we have a look at the teams, top three for each class so far, SPT and SPX. SPX in first place is the SVR LMES squad, in second place is ESV, and in third place is MRT Line Pro. In SPT, first place is Daredevil Motorsport, second place is LSM Fuschwanzer, and third is SVR Oddballs. Now, SPT is going to be a very interesting one to watch because of the fact that they're only separated, the top three, by 4 miles between them all. So, Daredevil Motorsport has 1,717 miles, LSM Fuschwanzer has 1,714 miles, and SVR Oddballs has 1,713 miles. So this is definitely going to be an interesting race to watch for this final stint. The same can be said for the top two teams in SPX. 1,899 miles covered for the SVR LMES squad, and 1,897 miles covered for the ESV squad. We are just now loading into the track, and we're about to get underway. We'll be on board with Raceboy to start this one off. Definitely going to be amazing fun as we transition over to our spectator screen in just a second. Pause are taking its merry time, of course. And over we go. So on board then with Raceboy from the start of this one. Braking relatively early there. Single file to the start finish. And I will have to update the standings momentarily on your screen. I will do that in a minute as we are under this bridge. It is live for the last stint. Raceboy off to a decent start. Looking at Squadius Unseen Saint up ahead. He's got his eye on the grey and lime car there. Just behind, we have LMP Dragon, PMC Supra, Adler Girl from the Inertia Garage. So far, off to a relatively unmomentous start. Nothing too serious happening there. Looking behind, everything seems in order for SPT. Although, a little bit of a mess up there from MRT5. That's going to see Unseen Saint and Raceboy through 2x2 in the background between LMP Dragon and PMC Supra. That is going to be the LMP car running a little bit wide there. I was going to say that's going to be the lead, but he's off now and gone back 4 positions. Not the start that they would have been looking for. Up ahead we have Unseen Saint still, and after that initial opening barrage, it's let the LMES team really gap a little bit then. Looking behind, still looks all good. We're going to go on board with our SPT second place sitter for the time being, LSM Yuko. He's followed up by Williams Harmonic in the SVR Oddballs car. And up ahead is the DDM car, the Fuschwanzer team. Because the Fuschwanzer team, as behind there we have VPR Chef still being pushed by the rest of the pack there. Very, very, very aggressive stuff there. We'll get that on replay quickly. Once this all evens out a little bit, which it seems to have. So, let's have a quick gander. So as you can see in the background there, as we come through, we had VPR Shep get it a little bit wrong there, and the cars behind are going to be too wide, so they're still going to be pushing him there, basically. This is definitely a bit of a unideal situation for VPR Shep, who has fallen back a little bit. It's now Yuko pushing up on DDM Drift and the German driver versus the British driver living in Germany, with Williams Harmonic just behind. Harmonic, no stranger to fast pace. Yuko is going to be looking for a move, then he has the car with the better straight line capabilities. Well, so I thought that M2 is pulling away now. It's going to be through the fast left-hander that Yuko might be looking for something. He closes up a little bit. Drifting goes defensive. Around the outside, Yuko looks, and Harmonic is going to want to get a little bit of this moving into the inside of Yuko. Nothing really changing there. You can see the Fuschwanz, the quote-unquote sister team to the Fuschwanzer, by namesake alone, SVR and LSCM running the two teams. Yeah. So far, a very interesting start indeed. So looking around, we're gonna switch then to the player focus on the minimap and move our way back forward to Williams Mitch on the tail of Adler here now from the Inertia Garage. The Milkman car, of course, right here. And he's looking for the opportunity he needs to get past. Trainer cars not having any reprieve from themselves yet. And as we look forward, Adlergirl is just ahead. The German driver versus the British driver, Gary Mitchell. Adlergirl gets it a little bit wrong there. Goes back towards the inside. No change of position yet. How long Adlergirl can keep Mitch behind. Mitch, of course, being a Williams FRC driver. Around the outside, then, is Mitch. He's got the handling of the M6 in that Viper, so he should be able to make the move stick a little bit on the grass there. Adlergirl gets a little bit twitchy. That almost could have gone a lot worse than it did there. You'll notice, compared to the last stint, that you can actually see stuff this time. Because it's daytime as Mitch looks to the inside once again. Nothing going to materialize there. Mitch has been pushing and putting the pressure on Adlergirl through the ups, the inside. Adler's going to keep it around the outside for the time being. Mitch pushes her, metaphorically, didn't actually touch that. And that is going to be Mitch in a position now up. 6th position, that is, for the Williams driver. Up ahead then PMC Super, who makes a little mistake there. That's going to allow Mitch right up on the bumper. Looking a little bit skittish there so far. PMC, the 3rd place sitter in the Le Mans Esports Series for the time being. Trying to keep Gary Mitchell from the Williams team behind. Gets in the grass a little bit, that's going to be Mitch. Something not to capitalize on that opportunity there. Still probably one of the closer battles on the field, coming on board with Supra as he tries to keep Mitch behind. Supra hasn't been the most consistent driver on the grid so far this lap, but he hasn't been enough so to allow Mitch through. As I say that, Mitch goes up the inside, up on the curb, and decides to back out of that one. daring stuff then from the Britishman. And that's going to keep the gap at 2 tenths just behind. You can see SVR Bradders and Adlergill going at it. So Adlergill maybe struggling a bit on this opening lap to really maintain the pace that she needs, as Mitch looks to the outside, looking for the cutback through this corner here, and he's looking around the outside. It's going to be a long around the outside on the back straight, and he dives through. That is Mitch into 5th place. Supra doesn't get the run he wants, and that is going to be a set of moves done. Looking back now, the top 3 in SPT still together. Williams Harmonic just behind the Fuschwanz car. As I say that, he pulls to the inside of this complex. Harmonic, a little bit of a bump there. And that's through into 2nd position in SPT. That's allowed the DDM car then to pull away just a little bit as we go onto the back straight here. This should be where the Fuschwanz car excels a little bit compared to the others. It has the top end compared to the front-wheel drive Scirocco up ahead. So we'll see if he can reel in Harmonic. Currently half a second. And we should see that gap start to come down a little bit towards the top end. Quite the inverse actually, as Mitch has to make an early pit. Mitch pits on lap 2. Adlergill pits on lap 2. So we may have missed something up the front there. That won't... Not only will that put pressure on these two, but it could very well, as Drifting goes deep into the chicane there. That's going to allow Harmonic to catch back up. Yuko still on the tail of these two. We're going to go on board with Harmonic as he's looking for the move into turn 1. The GP circuit, very opportune for moves, as it is so much wider than the Nordschleife itself. Around the outside goes the Williams coach. He's going to make it stick through the second part of the chicane, and he does. That is Williams Harmonic for the SVR Oddballs. I was going to say up in the 1st position, but Drifting has gone back through. So you can see the drive that the M2 has over that Scirocco, but he's going to run deep. Well, Harmonic is going to be very... Slotting back in the 2nd position then. Harmonic still looking. Yuko behind, looking opportunistic as Harmonic alongside Drifting. Drifting gets a drive out the corner, but you should see the Scirocco just gain back here through the Schumacher S's. Gap in front, 0.3 seconds. Gap behind, 0.2. We're going to ride it back on board with Yuko. Was a buffoonery here as Harmonic looks to the inside. It's going to compromise both the runs there. This could give Yuko the chance to pull into P1. Oh, he's going to go too wide with Drifting. He may have to back out of it with Harmonic. Is still ahead. Oh, he's boxed in. A little bit of touch there from Drifting and Yuko. Yuko's going to try to make it stick around the outside. And he does so. That is Yuko up in the 2nd position then. Harmonic into the lead still. Drifting pulls along the outside of Yuko. Yuko manages to play the line defensively. This is your battle for 1st position as it sits right now. To my understanding, DDM will take the win overall if things stay as such with the gaps as such. The Fuschwanz team needs a gap by 3 miles. Let me check again quickly, because it may have been updated since the last stint. I'm not sure if stint 11 has finished yet. Let me have a look at the live timing. Okay. So as it stands right now, stint 11 has not been input. Looking behind. A little bit skittish there from Yuko. If the cars stay in exactly the same order and distances that they had in the prior stint, then Harmonic will have to gap Drifton by 6 miles. Yuko will have to gap by 4 miles. And Drifton has actually fallen back now to 5th in class. Barcode up the inside of GPR Coconut. Coconut runs wide. That's going to allow Drifton back through. So Drifton's still in the battle here. You can see just ahead the Pushschmatzer and the Onpul's car. And just in front of Drifton is the SBR Galaxy car. On the dirt a little bit there from Yuko. That Opel Manta proving a handful, and that's going to let Barcode pull forward towards Yuko. Very lovely livery here, the number 202 for the Galaxy team. Actually, sorry, I think this is called the SBR Scooby team. So, just Galaxy Paint, I've been calling it Galaxy since somebody mentioned it as the SBR Galaxy team. Behind, GPR Thai Coconut is looking to get past Drifton. Yuko, up ahead, is trying to hold off Barcode. SVR Bradders is on the tail of PMC Supra coming through the carousel. Slips out, and that's going to be a couple of tenths of loss to the M6 up ahead. So Supra then desperately trying to gap TT better in the corners. Looking around, MRT flies about half a second ahead of SVR Spectre. And the LMES car, Race Boy in first for the Yachts All-Star Kitty Litter team. To anyone in the chat, let me know what you want to have a look at here in this A lobby stint 12 as Yuko slips back behind Sierra Barcode. As Yuko falling back positions then, probably an off for the LCM driver as he comes through the carousel. He's going to have to try and gap Drifton, get back in front with the pedal to the metal. He needs to hold. He needs to hold the Oddballs team to within 3 miles or 4 miles in order to keep his chances alive. As your Spectre gets past MRT5, we're on board with the battle for 3rd place in SPT. GPR Coconut then looks towards the inside potentially. We go for the right-hander. And here comes Yuko. Durch den Recht. Vorher ist DDM Drifton. Hinter Yuko ist GPR Thai Coconut. Und das ist für 3. Platz. Hier kommt Yuko. Vielleicht ein bisschen schneller in eine lange Strecke. Thai Coconut is looking racy roadies. Howdy, I was gonna try and get you in a party with me before this commentary stream, but Discord died. So, as Driftin runs wide then, Thai Coconut may look for the move, but onto this back straight. This is Manta territory. You can see the distance that Harmonic and Barcode have put in over Yuko since getting through. But haven't got him back past Driftin in that M2. He should be able to close back in, although Driftin is going quite a bit quicker on the straights due to the power that his M2 has. Go looking for a move then on Driftin. Giving a bit of a squeeze there from the German driver. You can see that mid-range is a bit better on the Manta. It's the top end where Driftin excels. And it's going to be almost an identical move between Yuko and Driftin to what was between Harmonic and Driftin. Going for the underover, except this time the Manta has the power to keep Driftin behind. Psychonaut. Psychonaut. Got it. Psychonaut. Huh. Right. Looking at it now. I can understand why I was saying it, but I can definitely see that's not spelled Thai Coconut. Alright, looking around further up the field, let's see what we have. Actually, we'll go a bit further back, see if there's anything close. It's Thai Coconut and Driftin Yuko for these SPT cars. But Williams Mitch, who had to take an early pit stop, is now caught back up the LMP Dragon, making his way around the outside. And that's a good move done there by Mitch. Dragon could come back with the top end that the M6 has, but I don't see it happening. I'm gonna get a quick replay of that, because that was quite a nice move. So, as you can see, we were on board with Yuko there. As we switch over, Mitch looks to the outside, utilizes the maximum ability of his Viper, and is able to make his way around the outside of Mr. LMP Dragon. Further looking around, MRT Fly. The top three are relatively close together still. Spectre, Raceboy, and MRT Fly. So Spectre and MRT Fly have got him past Raceboy, one of the namesakes of the key litter team from Yas All-Stars. MRT Fly looks forward in the Cloud Racing Team LPG Line Pro Gaming car. Very similar to an AMS livery, I must say. It's quite nice though. Generally, you see MRT running more so a blue, white, and gray livery. So it's definitely interesting to see them running a black, green, white livery there. Actually, just noticing the black is actually carbon fiber, so very good detailing there from the painter. Looking around furthermore, Barcode and Harmonic still back to back. You can see Yuko's dropped off there a bit, 4.4 seconds for the time being. The Scooby car and the Oddballs car then working together then perhaps to gap the field. They need to try and extend 4 miles over. Actually, let me see if they've updated the spreadsheet yet. In it looks like they're in the process of updating it. So shortly we should have the figures for the type of gaps between drivers. There was only 4 miles between the top 3 cars in this class, remember, not counting the last stint. Play cameras here for a little while. On board with SVR barcode from the SVR Scooby entry. A little bit wide there. You can see him trying to chase down Williams Harmonic, but as soon as they get on the straightaway, that Scirocco just has the legs on the Subaru. The Galaxy livery is quite nice. Having a look around the field a bit more. There's drifting on the back of Thai Coconut, but that's about a second between the two right now. MRT Fly within half a second of SVR Spectre, so... Oh, and as I say that, Spectre goes spinning off the track. Back down in the second position. That's Spectre. That's MRT Phi now taking the lead in the MRT car. The great stuff there from Phi to be in the right place at the right time. He's had the pace so far this race. We'll see if he can live up under the pressure as Raceboy now gets around Spectre. Is that damage maybe on the young British man's car? And not yet. It looks like he'll be doing one more lap before he pits, unless he decides to take an early pit stop. So we have the Norwegian driver of Phi. As Spectre decides to pit, he'll be looking for the undercut. So we'll see how that one works out. Squadio Sunstein Saint also pitting now. We'll go back on board with Raceboy and Phi, who are still battling at it. This is for the lead of the SPX class in the TORA 24 Hours of the Grüne Halle, the Nurburgring. .4 seconds separates these two drivers for the time being. As you can see, Brad is, I think, making a pit stop now as well. Same with LMP Dragon. Harmonic, Barcode, still the top two on SPT. Yuko trails by about 1,000 feet. It's an interesting point actually. How many feet is a mile? Hey Siri, how many feet? Oh, how many feet in a mile?
1 mile is 5,280 feet.
So in order for Yuko and the Bushmonster team to win, they're going to have to pull 5,000 feet on the car of DDM Drifting. So far, it looks like he's pulled about 400 feet. So, let's see how this works. It's going to be a long stint too. We're still looking for updates on the spreadsheet, and it looks like they've come through then. So retaking the lead after the last stint. That can't be right. They might not have finished putting in things yet. No, okay, they're literally in the process of putting stuff in. I was going to say, because it does, yeah. So the order's just rearranging itself a little bit right now. And we'll have that all updated. It is the SVR LMES squad still in the lead, then taking their lead up to 2,091 miles overall now. It looks like, although I'm not certain, that is... Yes, it is. Alright, so your gaps now. The DDM car is 4 miles ahead of the... Sorry, 4.3 miles ahead of the LSEM Fuschwanze team. And only a gap of 1 mile separates the SVR Oddballs team and LSEM Fuschwanze. So, that means that if Williams Harmonic can pull 5,000 feet on LSEM Yuko, they will pass the team for second place. However, there needs to be a disconnect or something similar for DDM Driften, as a 20,000 mile gap is needed as Raceboy runs off there. Raceboy then making subtle mistakes. Mitch is on the tail of Spectre here. Remember, Mitch had to make his pit stop on lap 1 already after some damage. Atlegel had to do something similar, so this is full position, although I don't know if the Viper can stretch out as well as it needs to in order to stay ahead of the LMES car if it passes it. Gonna ride on board with Mitch. Closes in the gap in the corners. Playing a conservative behind Spectre for the time being. Number 32 far ahead. Left, he's looking right. He's now moving sight for the time being. The LMES car maintains third position overall in the SPX field. Currently a gap. Looks like Harmonic has pitted, saving barcode. So Yuko has taken the lead for the time being in the SPT class. And Driften trails barcode by about 10 seconds. We'll try and figure out what that gap is. However, it's worthwhile going on board with barcode now, as he is just behind Williams Harmonic. So we will find the distance gaps as barcode looks opportunistic for a move there, but decides to slot back in behind the Williams driver. The Harmonic is not on SVR. He is driving in the SVR car today alongside his team by namesake. SVR Oddballs and SVR Scooby, of course, being run by the Solar Vision Racing team. Some lovely camera angles here on the Nurburgring. You can see one of the SPT cars, actually, yeah, one of the SPX cars has fallen way off. Who is that? That's LMP Dragon. So I'm wondering if he's had damage or if he has damage. So it looks like he might have had damage and fallen off there. So back on board with barcode. Brody's telling us in chat that the 5,000 foot gap needed is about 1/16 of a lap around Nurburgring, so it's definitely doable by barcode if he can gap Yuko the way he needs to. Oh, sorry, not barcode, Harmonic. Currently, the gap behind sits at 25 seconds between Harmonic and Yuko. So I'm wondering if... Well, I'm not sure what the pit delta is here. I think Yuko will still come out behind, but probably only by about 4 seconds. A little bit of twitch there from Harmonic. Manages to save the car before he dives down here. Pit delta about 30 to 35 seconds. Some very lovely sweeping camera angles here as we're approaching half an hour into this race. So only another 70 minutes remaining. I'm trying to find a nice comfortable position as my chair has rotated around sideways. There we go. I need to adjust a couple things at my desk so my headset can continue charging. Move the microphone a bit closer. And there we go. So continuing to stay vigilant on the battles on track. Mitchell Spectre still knows the tail. The same can be said about Supra and Bradders. So Bradders then, he has a better car in the corners, but it looks like that M6 has the legs in the straightaway. So into the braking zone then come Bradders and Supra. If they haven't pitted yet, they will pit this lap. It looks like they both pitted then. So Bradders and Supra are running in 7th and 8th position respectively. Hey, Salty Bunkos, how you going? Hey, Muppy. So we're going to stay on board with Bradders and Supra for the time being, as these two continue the battle away. We're actually going to jump onto the roof cam. I like the roof cam. It's kind of nice as we go on board, and then with Supra looking to make a move past Bradders. He should have the legs in a straight line, plus the corner ability to back it up. Though that TT will be fierce around the corners compared to Supra. It shouldn't have the acceleration out because it is front wheel drive still. The Brad is really working the heck out of that TT. It seems a bit more comfortable. Well, that could be the front wheel drive nature of said Audi TT. Supra dives in a little bit later. Bradders closes right up to the back, and this could be his opportunity for the pass, and probably his last opportunity before the end of the GP circuit. The acceleration of that TT is astounding in later range though. Look at that. Just pulling. And the braking. Supra closes right back up. It's a slightly better run out of the chicane. He looks to the outside of the end of the GP circuit. Bradders is going to cover it off. And that is... Oh, moves up the inside then. A little bit of a tap there. Oh, we lost the camera. Where'd it go? They're side by side. Get off this damn camera. Side by side then. Bradders managed to reclaim the position that Supra was challenging for. And that was a very tight exchange indeed. Let's have a look at that quickly. What we managed to catch. So here you can see Supra looks to the inside, gets a little bit of a touchdown. Bradders, that rear-wheel drive, or front-wheel drive, TT really struggled to maintain traction there with that destabilization, and that will be Bradders back up to the front. I will endeavor to update the current standings. I will do that. Let me go on board with who we got. We got. Let us find out. Go on board with Spectre. While I fix the standings overall. So bear with me if the commentary kind of collapses a little bit. We will be running on board with Spectre as he's got him past. Or he maintained his position ahead of Mitch. So we're going to on board with Mitch then. And we're going to quickly grab our text scroll. So, take a properties as Mitch has fallen off the back of Spectre a little bit. Let's see if there's something a little bit closer somewhere. Seems like we're getting to that point where the gaps in the field have started to solidify a bit. We'll stay on board with Mitch for the time being. Maybe running replay cameras. Off to downloads then. Should be working now. We might need a medium with it. There we are. That was Race Boy getting a little bit antsy there. Pull it off. This should be your current standings. Scrolling through now. Forgive me if... Hold on. Let me try and increase the width because we have the space to play with. Yeah, it's... we'll call that good enough for the time being. Anybody want a particular car to be watched in the stream? It's a bit of a lull in the action right now. The closest thing we have on track is Spectre and Mitch, so happy to take requests for the time. Mitch then is looking forward to Spectre still. Should have the legs in this section. The Viper is slightly better than the R8 in the corners, the R8 being the last pass on straight line demon. Especially on that back straight. He's going to cover a little bit there. It's going to be through the sector. Looks like Mitch got it slightly better than Spectre. Maybe he can make something happen through this section, but I doubt it'd be worth it because the R8 would just pull back through. See him just staying behind, trying to use a bit of that side draft, but the leg. Whoa, what the? Okay. That's the lag. So since Stint 2's DNF, the Milkmen are actually this is the Williams Junior South team. They're currently in 7th position overall. So a relatively good recovery in what has been a strong field of cars. As you see Mitch there ducking the pits, and I'll look around to see if something close to Barcode and Harmonic is still within 1.3 seconds of each other. Anything to tie her up? Oh, so we're on board with Barcode then. Not too shabby indeed. Hello to all our audience. If there's a certain car, of course, that you'd like to watch, let me know, and I can give them a bit of time. This is the A lobby of 24 hours of the Grünenhalle, the Nurburgring, for the Online Racing Association. My name is King Butler. To our German-speaking audience, hallo, und willkommen zu den 24 Stunden von den Grünenhalle. Ich bin Kian und ich werde deine kommentierte Vorhälter sein. Wenn du ein Auto angucken willst, lass mir let me know. Und ich werde das ein bisschen okay. Und wenn du das in Deutsch sagen willst, in den Chat, dann werde ich das mein Bestes machen zu in Englisch sagen. So. Hier kommt Barcode, ein bisschen Deutsch für jeder. Und ja, immer noch in second position. How's our favorite Manta doing? Asked TORA and Go-Ahead. Well, Elsie Miyako is currently in 3rd position. He's about 1,000 feet behind. 1,600 feet so far behind Harmonic. He needs to hold Harmonic to 5,000 feet in order to stay ahead for this race. If he can do that, that will be 2nd place for the LCM Fuschschwanzer team. If he can't, that makes it a bit difficult. He will also be a podium position in the current sittings, and if he can gap Drifting, he needs to gap Drifting by about 20,000 feet though, so that's more likely of a DNF situation. I'm gonna go through some relatively close people. Ty Coconut is just behind Yuko, running the lovely 555 Super Delivery. Very nice modernization of a classic Super Delivery. On board PDM Drifting in the M2 BMW. This is painted by DDM Me. Not only a talented driver, but a good painter as well. Very good. As Raceboy gets past Spectre up the front. So is that Spectre pin? It looks like it. No. Alright, so something's happened to Spectre then. He looks to have made a mistake. It doesn't have any damage, which is promising. So then it's up to Spectre to try and regain the time lost to the Yachts All-Star team, Kiddo of the crew, to try and maintain the lead that they have over them in the standing so far. This LMS team, though it's running in 3rd right now, over the course of 24 hours has proven to be the top car. So, great showing here from SVR then, to take the team that they have from Molly Sports, stick them in the car, and run to the top. Williams Mitch, for this pit earlier, could go well, could not, but you can see Supra up ahead has not taken his pit stop yet, and this might hamper the British man Gary Mitchell if he gets too close to the German driver up ahead and gets stuck behind. It's a good position, even though they aren't different pit cycles. So there's no inclination there for Supra to let Mitch through. Oh, is Supra... I missed that one. I looked away for 1 second. So let's catch that on replay. And propaganda. So having a look there, Mitch closes in on Supra. Closes in. And then... Switch the setting earlier to make it moving around. And... Alright, so you can see Supra there. Closes in. And around the outside, it looks like Mitch was just more ambitious in the brakes there than Supra and was able to get the move done. So very good work there from the British driver to make them all work. Hello, Master Dirt. How are you going? Any particular car that you would like to have a look at? Let me know. This is the 5th time I'm saying now, just because I like saying it. This is the 24 hours of the Nurburgring through the Holler, hosted by the Online Racing Association. This is the final stint, stint 12. I am one of the 2 streams running. This is the Lightspeed Network. I am Key Butler, or Tim the Butler, and the other main stream running is the Forza official stream. So, I'm not expecting to be as big as them, but definitely wanting to give a more broad understanding of the A-Lobby race. Still on board, hopping on board then, sorry, with Barcode. Currently 10 seconds ahead of Yuko. A good showing from these two up front, 2 SVR cars. Currently a 2,000 foot gap between Harmonic and Yuko. That's significant because Yuko has to hold Harmonic to a 5,000 foot gap in order to maintain the lead with his car. In fact, let me see if I can refine that a bit more because I think, let's see. My mistake, sorry. He only has to hold him. He has to hold him to 2,500 feet. So, very good chance, then, unless of a disconnect, that Harmonic will pass with the SVR Oddballs car, the LSCM Push Fancy team, for 2nd position. It's been a very hard-fought 24 hours for all of these drivers. How come Chaos hasn't joined me? Nomad asks. His stint was still going by the time the race started, and we're not really allowed to let people in halfway through the race because it can mess with connections and disconnect some people, so that's the reason why it's just myself for this last stint and why it's going to be just myself for the rest of it. Yeah. A little bit of drop back there from Barcode as Mitch now makes his way up to Bradders. Still on the separate spin cycle from the 2. The TT is going to have the legs of the Viper. These 2 cars, of course, the 2 main handling cars of the bunch. So it looks like they're going to be fighting, and the Viper's just going to outleg the TT. Although the side draft might prove valuable there to Bradders. With the left-hander there. You hear that Audi TT engine work away into braking zone. That is Mitch then secured into 5th position ahead of SVR Bradders. As Bradders combines with it. But Mitch had to take a early pit stop due to a issue on his end. I think him and Adler ended up collecting at the start of the race. So very good job from Mitch to get back up into 5th position so far. No doubt that he will make 4th position, but he's going to be trying to stretch out the pit stop as long as he can in that Viper to make sure that he doesn't have to do an extra round. I don't know how likely it is that he won't have to do an extra round, but if there's any man that has the pace to make sure that he can maximize the stint either way, it is Williams Mitch. So, the majority of the field is gapped right now. It places me in the 4th position of not really having that much to count in it. MRT Phi is 6 seconds ahead of the race pool now. We'll go on board with the Skittle team. What time is it for everyone right now? For me, it's about 11 p.m. and I think I have about 50 minutes left in the stream. So we're just exactly on the halfway point, just about. And to anyone who, any Germans out there, happy second Advent. If you've lit the candles today, then your wreaths will be glowing. And only 2 more weeks until Christmas. Is that right? 14 days, 22nd. Only 2 more Sundays until Christmas. So Christmas will be on a Tuesday. Christmas Eve. Christmas Day will be on a Wednesday. Look at that. So we're just having a little bit of an appreciation time for this Forza Racing Championship themed livery for the Yachts All-Star Team Kita crew. Race Boy, the driver for the final stint. What would people in the chat, what would your favorite moments of this race so far be? Mine would probably be the crazy first time we saw the intersection between the SPT and SPX cars back in stint 1. There were battles trying to go through battles, and there was some major carnage going on. So definitely some great sights as a commentator to watch that. Not necessarily as a driver. Might be a bit scary. Today, the musical during stint 8. The good old In the Jungle cover, The Mighty Jungle. In the holler, the Gruner holler, the race boy drives tonight. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Lots of fun little moments then in this stream. Trying to keep myself entertained while the drivers try to keep themselves on the track. Closest gap on the field right now is 2.5 seconds. So we're just going to run through the field then, I think. In first place so far, we have... Let's use a helicopter. In first place we have MRT Fi. As I say that, he runs deep onto the grass, but a great showing then for the MRT team. Currently, I think in second position overall, and in first place in this stint. Second place we have the Yachts All-Star Kitty Crew team. Oh, sorry, Kitty Litter Crew team. Is it Kitty Litter Crew or is it Kitty Litter? Let me check. It is... Yes, Kitty Litter. I don't know why I keep saying Kitty Crew. The Yas Kitty Litter team in second position then for SPX. In third place, we have the SVR LMES squad plus JSR Hydra. And they are running in first overall in the championship. I believe it's 24 hours. In fourth place, we have Squadius Unseen Saint, a relatively new team to the Forza community. Squadius have made themselves well known in the last couple of events, and I definitely see them being a force to contend with in future events. It's great to see some new faces in the Forza community. The same goes. MRT have done a great job of really putting their name out there today in this event. I know that a bit further back in the line, they were a bit unhappy with the progress they'd made as a team. So, obviously some reevaluation of the way that they do things has really paid off here for MRT by leading drivers such as Raceboy and SVR Spectre. So, and Williams Mitch. So, definitely a great showing then so far for the MR2 team. In 5th place, Williams Mitch, titular character in today's race. He has been on a recovery drive since the start. He's in a bit of a lower zone right now, 3,000 feet behind 4th place. He ended up getting damage at the start of this race alongside Abigail. He missed that one on screen, but so far then he's done a really good job of recovering the car. In 6th place overall is Abigail, the other person who was involved in the incident. They both hit it on lap 1, and that means that they will be having to try and figure out if they can extend their pits long enough to make the whole stints. In 7th place, we have SVR Bradders, who is in the Audi ZT, the only front-wheel drive car in this grid for the SPX class. 8th place, PMC Supra for the Acura Motors Center team on the Le Mans Sports team also. And in 9th place, running out the A-Lobby SPX class with a quite damaged car at some point, not now. I don't think they have damage now, but they've definitely fallen well off as the LMP team in 9th position and 70 seconds behind the next SPX car. LSM Yuko then momentarily leads the SPT class as he's ended up ahead due to pit rotations for the time being. So Harmonic and Barcode then decided to stick together once more in their pit cycles. The SVR Oddballs team with the Pokemon, and you can see the wedding rings on the top as one of the drivers in this car has recently gotten married. And it's a really wholesome thing there. In 3rd place or 2nd place, once the pit cycles run out, is the SVR Scooby car with SVR Barcode in. Very talented 15-year-old driver, I believe. He's definitely shown what he's made of today. He's maintained his gap to Williams Harmonic at about 2 seconds and held on to the Williams coach, so he's definitely making himself known for the future, or his future, in events such as Le Mans Esports and the Field Racing Championship. GPR Thaikonaut, not Thai Coconut as I was calling before, here in the number 555 car in 4th place. In 4th place overall in the SPT class. Yeah, the Subaru being one of the all-wheel drive cars here. Definitely been a major contender in the corners and in the acceleration zones, but struggling a bit on top end. Drift and then the DDM team currently leading the SPT field on total mileage. It looks like, for the time being, his lead is safe. He needs to be gapped by 20,000 feet by either Yuko or Harmonic in order to lose 1st place or have a lag out. Currently, it looks like he's done a very good job of mitigating Harmonic so far. I think he's only lost about 4,000 feet, so definitely not a bad effort there from Griffin. 5th place, not 5th place, 6th place is Stanash in the SVR Fushschwanz team. You may be thinking, this liver looks very similar to Yuko's. Well, that's because this is the Fushschwanz team, and the other Opel Manta is the Fushschwanzer. So that one has 2 tails, and this one has 1. Sadly, been the slightly slower Opel Manta in SPT, but considering that the other Opel Manta is up in 2nd position right now, it's not a bad thing. It's pretty good. VPR Shep then rounds out the field. We haven't talked about him much except for the start of the race where he had some slight contact that put him sideways. And that is your 16 drivers in this A lobby of the Online Racing Association's TORA 24 Hours of the Grinder Hollow. We have about 40 minutes remaining then in this race. An hour has gone by. We're going to jump on some replay cameras and stay on board with the Mustang for a little while because we haven't shown him a lot of love. And there's really not too much happening right now. Yeah, on board with VPR ship. So then I don't know, this Mustang, it's got quite a nice livery. I like the highlights around the whatchamacallit, the headlights. Turn out pretty good. We can see this race is a bit like an hourglass, really. Once you see the SPT cars being lapped by the SPX cars, you know you only have about 30, not 30 minutes, about 20 to 10 minutes left. And by word, does it get exciting when that stuff happens. By word indeed. Still looking around for an interesting battle. We're going to go on board with MRT Phi as he tries to chase down Williams Mitch. So Mitch then is in second position. This is the position that he'll stay in if he manages to extend his car out, because he took that hit on the end of lap 1. I'm not sure if he can make it without an extra pit stop, but that's good for Mitch. Second position for the time being. He was running 5th position before all the pit stops cycled through, so that is definitely going to be a good opportunity then for Mitch to come back strong. He's not too far behind, he's only about 5,000 feet behind Raceboy for the time being. Spectre having fallen back a little bit now. Seeing Mitch just up the road then to Murphy 5, and I was praising earlier for such a good showing. Number 48 McLeod Racing Team car. Really strong stuff from these guys. The McLeod Racing Team started off as two brothers. As I say that, ends up in the dirt a little bit. More loose side of Mitch. Drops the gap to about 4 seconds there. But yeah, the McLeod Racing Team, they started off as two brothers making a esports team. This way to spend time together. I think that is one of the purest ways I've heard an esports team start. That is I think that's lovely. So yeah, it's great to see them start getting some good partners like Lime Power Gaming, or Lime Pro Gaming, sorry. Really cool to see new takes on the kind of liveries. Normally see RT running grey, blue, and white. Color scheme that we don't see too often in the Forza community, especially towards the top tiers. Kind of store it with Midnight Racing while it is a thing. Of course, MNR Stop the Beam merged with McLeod Racing Team. So definitely the merger seems to have paid off. Alongside that, let's think about what other teams run blue, white, and black, or grey. Fordzilla's new one. Fordzilla, not making the best start to their Le Mans Esports endeavors. Yeah, not really scoring too well for the first round, so it's going to be a bit tougher to come back from that. But it's going to be a bit of a cutthroat championship. Reverse grid is the way it works in reverse championship order, rather, for the reverse races. So it's going to be interesting to see how Fordzilla can pull some points back, especially starting at the front. Of course, Yoda and Warner are in a little bit. Start that 20-point gap to third place between third and Yoda and second. Still looking for a nice little battle going. Nothing yet, but we're going to see, I think we have seen it, the first of the SPT overtakes. So we have Raceboy in the pits, And where is a last place runner for SPT is just towards the end in the chicane of the GP circuit. So on board with Raceboy, who it seems hasn't pitted yet. Maybe he's taking his first pit stop early. We'll find out soon enough, but that puts Mitch in the lead. And Mitch will be the first car who encounters the SPT cars. It's going to be a bit harder for Mitch to get through because he has a hand on his car. So potentially it's going to be tough work for the Williams Forza RC driver to cut his way through the grid once we get there. Currently he's halfway through the GP circuit. The first of the SPT cars is at the end of the GP circuit, or the first that he will be encountering. So this is going to get spicy with this. It's going to get juicy. Once again, I implore anybody in the chat, if they have somebody that they would like me to spectate for a little while, let me know, and I will do that, because there's not really too much to focus on right now. We're going to get the exciting little stab of adrenaline at the end with the SPT cars being come across by the SPX cars, but until then, we're getting that kind of lull. It'll be another 10 minutes or so before we see that really start kicking off with some battles within the field and such. But for the time being, Williams Mitch in first place after a mega recovery drive. He is of course going to have to work to stay ahead of those on the original pit cycle. I'm not sure if he's managing to extend out his pit stop enough. The gap currently is, let's see, it's a 35-second pit window as said by Muttley earlier. And we're gonna get 15 seconds to Raceboy, 17 to Spectre. He should come out around Unseen Saint. So that's still 5th position for Mitch if he has to make another pit stop. The recovery drive really working well from here. We're about to see where the SPT cars are. So Yuko's still in first place. I don't think he's on the same pit cycle though. Unfortunately. Let's see. So Yuko, if I suspect right, will be in this lap. Whereas Harmonic... Oh. Or Barcode. So Yuko, it looks like Yuko's only about a lap out of cycle. So maybe Yuko pit before? I don't see how Yuko could be doing right now. Unless I missed something drastic. I'm just confusing myself now. As is A-Lobby. So, maintaining a keen eye on the SPT leader as... Oh no. We have all of our SPX cars. We've had jump like this. We haven't had a lag out. This is good news. It looked like there was going to be a lag out there, but thankfully we haven't had one. Oh, tired, Butler. About 20 minutes of racing left here in the TORA A lobby. SVR Spectre a couple of seconds behind Raceboy, 2.5. But I think Raceboy has he's made a stop. I don't think Spectre has yet. So, bit of a skewed reality there. Spectre then through the carousel. We're starting to get to a point where it's only a couple of corners between the SPX leader, Williams Mitch, and the SBT trailing car, VPR Muttley. Not VPR Muttley, VPR Shep, sorry, Muttley's one in chat. Of course I know that. So then, the key point of interest will be what is correct. VPR Muttley, you are of course on the track and in the chat. Stop texting while driving. So Mitch then a couple of corners behind. You can see just there. It's about I'd say about a 5-10 second gap. Should come down relatively quickly. That would take some skill. You know what? I want to make a team for the 24 Hours of Daytona in January who only text and drive. That's going to be even harder for me because I'm on the wheel. So, like, trying to shift one-handed, that would take some skill. I will admit. That's something I don't want to try. Something I do want to try, but it's something I would imagine myself not wanting to try because I'm not silly. So just one corner separates Mitch and VPR Shep now, the Virtual Pure Tech Racing team, doing a good job to get an A lobby and do well. Every stint is live streamed and commentated on by whoever is driving. Yes, yes. It's not a live stream though. It's not a live stream on the spectator cam. It's the person holding the phone, live streaming their face while they're racing, or holding it towards the screen while they're racing. So you get this really kind of rubbish quality. But it's also great because it's a meme. We're gonna go to race cameras, or game cameras then, where Mitch catches up to VPR Shep. So it looks like Yuko then has taken his pit stop. He's about 2,400 feet behind Shep. Gets in the way a little bit there as Mitch dives into the pits. It looks like he's going to have to make one more pit stop before the end of his race. So disaster there for the British driver who was hoping to run the same number of pit stints as the cars around him. But as I say that, MRT Phi comes into the pits as well. So Mitch has managed to usurp Phi. And it looks like he might just come out of third place. So stellar stuff from the British driver Gary Mitchell then. Out he comes. Nice safe pit release. Maybe a little bit over the line, but that's not a problem. We won't cry shepherd or sheep or whatever. And you can see the gap he has. Expected behind. So now we go on board with our new race leaders. That is Raceboy, and actually Spectre is only a couple of tenths behind now, so we'll go on board with Spectre. And this is going to be Spectre's chance to retake the race lead. With Raceboy up ahead, Spectre nice and close, closing in respectively. And SPT traffic literally just around the corner. This is Spectre's chance to make the most of the situation. If he was ever going to get past Raceboy, it would be now. Approximately 20 minutes left in the race. Who's in the Scooby car? SVR Scooby? That's SVR Barcode. And he's currently running in second position behind Harmonic, and only by about 2 or 3 seconds. Hey, so Barco's been doing a great job. Very nice stream. Greetings. Hi, Addy. Can't remember if you Polish or German on this one. But great work out there today from the Pura Motorsport Center team. Very great driving. It's great to see that esports team compete in an event like this. As we see Raceboy now catching up to Shep. Shep is a little bit sideways. Raceboy's going to look around the outside. Spectre's going to have to be bold to stay with Raceboy then. And through the inside then. A good set of moves from Spectre and Raceboy to get past the first of the SPT traffic. And you can see still a little ways up the road is the rest of the grid. So the two drivers, the two titans of teams in this race. SVI have done a brilliant job so far. As we see Raceboy trying to gap. The gap right now is only 0.4 of a second. Any gems in the chat, let me know. My jam a little bit. Trying to stumble over myself. Funny story, actually. One time I was in I think it was... Where was it? It was the 24 hours spa this year? No, it was the TEC 6 hours of spa in 2018. I was driving the Corvette C7R in the B lobby, and I was talking German to some of the German drivers at the time, who were growing the German party, for whatever reasons. And I asked a question, somebody asked why, and I just said, Ich wollte nur wissen. Oh, sorry, Ich wollte nur wissen. Now, the difference between those two phrases, Ich wollte nur wissen is, I just wanted to know. Ich wollte mehr wissen is, or ich wollte nur wissen is, I just wanted to wissen, which is a bit. So, of course, yes. You want to hear me a bit better? I can do that, of course. Let me know when it's good. I'll have to turn the gain sound down a little bit. Go back down to 2.5 decibels. How's that? Let me know how that is, Muttley. I'll also try and talk a bit more into the microphone, because I did kind of start looking a bit sideways compared to the microphone there, and I tend to talk over myself a little bit as well. We see Spectre right on tail of Raceboy then. How far away are they from the SPTs? That's a question well worth considering, well worth answering. The answer is not there. You can see the next SPT car just after the carousel, and Spectre around the outside there. That is a move done on Raceboy. Great job by the British driver there. We're going to see that one more time. So, nice little lunge there. You saw Spectre and Raceboy going back to back, close within a tenth of each other, and Spectre just made a lunge up the inside into the braking zone. That was really good work from Spectre to make a move stick. So Muttley then predicting that the SPT cars will be caught in the whatchamacallit, in the GP section based on the gap that is currently being presented. Also an update, Yuko is currently about 3,000 feet behind Harmonic. So as it stands right now, it's going to be tight. I think Harmonic will clinch second place over the LSCM Fuhrschwanzer team in the Opel Manta. So yeah. Yeah, Raceboy definitely did back out of that. This is the type of track where it's a bit easier to admit defeat, simply because it's such a challenging track. Stint 1 Butler can compete with the R8 noise, Stint 12 Butler less so. Yeah, Stint 12 Butler has had a couple of things going for him today. He's ended up staying up until about 2 a.m. watching the race, even though he was supposed to be in bed. He's woken up and jumped on for Stint 8. He's then gone off and started practicing for a AOR Oceania F1 race in which he came 7th, which was alright. It was about a couple of thousandths of a second away from 6th. And seeing as Butler, who I continue to refer to in the third person, has ended up only 2 points behind the next driver, considering that he started halfway through the race, or halfway through the season. His first race was Silverstone. Pretty good, pretty proud of himself. And yeah, he's just feeling generally fatigued. And for whatever reason, he's promised his friend that he'll go to the gym after this. So, yeah. So we see the last set pit stops then from the SVR LMES team and Raceboy in the Yas Kitty Crew team. I keep saying Kitty Crew. The Yas Kitty Litter team. That's what I mean to say. As we have Spectre then coming out. Where have I gone? I've gone to Mitch. I think stay on board with Spectre and Raceboy as they come out the pits. Nose to tail, only about 6 tenths between them now. Very good work between two drivers to stay close to each other, maintain the gap to the drivers ahead. As we see these two make their way past Aston Ash around the outside. A nice lunge there. Raceboy's gonna get stuck up behind Aston a bit more than Spectre did, and that's gonna mean a 10-4-2 loss for Raceboy then. We see another SPT car just on the other side of the. I'm just gonna pull this Carousel of Nations. And going through the Schumacher S's now. These two R8s have been very close together. Not so much for the rest of the stint, but definitely towards the tail end of it. We should see about another 10 to 15 minutes of racing. We started a little bit late. So after 24 hours, it comes down to this. It comes down to a race to the line between Yuko, Barcode. Yuko has finished a real harmonic a little bit, holding the gap to about 2,700 feet right now. And if he finishes in an advantageous position, that could be enough to keep the Fuhrschwanzer team ahead. DDM drifting here is down in 14th place. How far of a gap is that? We're about to find out. That's about a 4,000 foot gap to Yuko as Spectre goes up the inside. Raceboy is going to be looking for a quick move as well. He's not going to find it though, as drifting takes the lines he's entitled to, the racing line. Raceboy is stuck behind, and he's dropping back by the second. Move around the outside, sees Raceboy through, but not before he's lost another 5 or 6 attempts to the car head. I had the same gap at some point in my last stint. Bit of a cheat sheet, really. A little bit, yeah. 10 points to Motley for that prediction. That was very good. Yeah, that prediction was spot on. So Race Boy has to close that gap up a little bit more. Where are the next SPT cars? We're gonna go on board with Mitch as he navigates the sea of yellow. So he's made his way past the car behind. If he's ahead of Drifting, that would be Thai Coconut. Or not Thai Coconut. Thyconaut is the correct terminology to use there. Or the correct pronunciation. Williams Mitch pushing through, gets it a little bit wrong there on the outside, and he's going to stop the car going into the wall. Good job there from Mitch to recover from that situation. Sure, all these drivers are relatively fatigued after 24 hours. And up ahead we have LC Muko and the Fushrancer team. Runs a little bit wide there. He's opening the door, it looks like, for Mitch. Good job there from Yuko to make sure he doesn't get too much in the way. For that Opel Manta. You'd think with all 8 of its headlights it would do better at night. But no, it has 2 little dimly lit halogen lights that are the ones that are actually used. So a bit disappointing there from the Opel Manta, letting it break down, of course, at nighttime. I'm losing my voice a little bit as well. That's what happens to commentating. I'm looking forward to driving again for the 24 Hours of Daytona when that comes around in January. So yeah, it should be fun. Commentating definitely does not give you the time you need to race these things as well. It's a nice little reprieve. On board with Spectre and Raceboy now as they close into Thyconaut. That was the one thing Yuko liked about having me ahead of him at points. Yep, definitely. Yeah, around the track that does not have any type of exterior lighting. It's certainly great to have another car around to kind of, you know, square the power of the headlights. As Spectre makes a move on the inside of Thyconaut there. That could have gone very wrong. Camera skills went a little bit shaky there. And Raceboy gets through nice and easy. Gap back down to 6/10 of a second now. Nice little nod to the hashtag thank you Mechberg. Hashtag thank you Mechberg along the side of the engine cover there. That's a nod to the Forza community manager Mechberg, of course, who has announced that he will be leaving his role soon. So very heartfelt stuff there on the SVR LMS team. Raceboy still only a couple of tenths behind. Looking forward, you have LSM Yuko about to be passed by another pair of Audi R8s. So where will Spectre look for it? It's a lunge up the inside. Yuko was not expecting that, but he's managed to hold the car together through that ordeal. Spectre definitely using all lap traffic as best as he can to gap Raceboy, and that one was done very effectively. Look at that. The gap went from 6/10 of a second to 1.8 seconds between Raceboy and Spectre. So great navigation of the traffic there for Spectre, the SVR driver. Yeah, not much else to be said there. You can hear the cars off in a distance here. About 10 minutes remain in this 24 hours of the Grundahala. And as we head onto the back straight now, gap between Raceboy and Spectre has widened going to be up now to Evan to try and pull the gap back down together, but we may not see that happen. Through the heavy braking zone at the end of the track, you have Barcode just about leaving and entering the GP section of the track. An update on the harmonic Fußpflanze. It's about 3,800 feet, so I believe that does put the Williams team, sorry, not the Williams team, the SVR Oddballs team up in the second position. Raceboy then again looks like he's going to be caught up behind Barcode. Finding a relatively unchallenged position to make the pass, but not so much the greatest foray for Raceboy through the pack. Spectre has definitely been a lot more aggressive. He understands that he needs to carve his way through as quickly as possible before he gets held up behind these drivers. RT5 now only 6.3 seconds ahead. Spectre has him ahead and is thinking, look, I can see him, he's going through the kink, I'm not that far behind, I can most definitely catch up. Rich. Just on the other side. Only about 8 minutes to go, I would imagine. So will Mitch make it on fuel? Or will he just let the car run out of fuel at this point? I think he'd probably lose more time on a pit stop than if he ran out of fuel. Here we go, the SVR Oddballs team. Last of the SPT cars for Spectre and Raceboy to pass. Make it a clean one. The last time round. Last time of asking. Spectre, nice easy pass around the outside there. He waves to his team car. Harmonic waves back, and on they go. Raceboy though, looking for a similar opportunity, equally as easy with the Canadian driver. Do we have anybody who can really have somebody that they still have to go for? I don't. Maybe Bradders. Bradders and Adlergill are relatively close now. Only about 2 to 3 seconds separate the two. Raceboy is trying to close back on Spectre, but Spectre is the one that closed up on Raceboy and ended up getting him back. So with not much time remaining, I have to say, it's been an honor and a privilege to commentate these streams for the Online Racing Association. It's been great to be instated as one of the media developers. So the overlays and that kind of stuff that you'll be seeing in the future, I will most likely have my hand in creating them. This one was made by me. Looks nice enough. Only had about a day to whip it together, but for the time I had, I'm relatively happy with it. I have some cool ideas for some future overlays, although it may involve bringing back the fabled, the scary, the outright panicky. Well, how about now? Can you hear me now? So, well, Motley, we are on board with Raceboy, who's closed the gap by 2 seconds on Spectre after a bit of a poor run through traffic. In terms of the top 3 battle in SPT, it looks like it's going to be DDM to take the win overall. Oddballs will pass LSE and Fuschwanzer, and that's the end of the stint there. So, that's the end of the final stint of the TORA 24 Hours of Le Mans. In first place, after a mistake at the start, he's come back from making a pit on lap 1 to take the win. Williams Mitch. Second place, we have FRT Phi. In fact, we're going to go to our nice little rotating cameras. Where are we at? Slow spin. Second place, we have MRT Phi. In third place, SVR Spectre. Fourth place, Raceboy 77. Fifth place, Squadius Unseen Saint. Sixth place, SVR Bradders. Seventh place, Adler Girl from Inertia Garage. Eighth place, Bakura Motor Center's Super and Mark IV. And ninth place, LMP Dragon. In first place and taking second position after that is the SVR Oddballs team with Williams Harmonic in the car. In second place, then we have the SVR Scooby team with SVR Barcode in the car. Third place, LSEM Yuko for the LSEM Fuschwanzer team. In fourth place, we have GPR Thyconaut. Got it right on the last time of asking. In the GPR 555 entry. Sixth place, DDM Driftin in what will be the provisionally the winning car in the SPT class. In seventh, we have Aston Ash in the SVR Fuschwanz team. And in eighth place, we have VPR Shep for the Virtual PureTech Racing team. Well, so that concludes our running of the TORA 24 hours of... I said Le Mans, didn't I? The TORA 24 hours of the Grüne Halle of the Nurburgring. The Green Hell, the Nurburgring. The most challenging track, arguably, in the world. Definitely in Germany. And a challenge that a lot of drivers rose up to today. A challenge that a lot of people overcame. And ultimately, every team that finished the races today have every reason to be proud of themselves. I've been LSCM the Butler, joined today by my imaginary friend, ASMR Butler. Thank you everyone for watching. We know that the spottage, the coverage got a little bit spotty in the middle. Something that we'll work to address in the future. But overall, it's been a lot of fun commentating. It's nearly 11 PM at night for me. I'm looking forward to going to bed, even though I said to my friend that I go to the gym. So, to our English-speaking audience, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow if you like stuff like this. We'll most likely be doing stints in the future for TORA as well, here at the Lightspeed Network. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're at 99 subscribers right now. 100 will be made if we can get that. And what a wonderful time of commentating, actually being able to see Instant 12. To our German-speaking audience, vielen Dank für heute. Das war ganz viel Spaß, mit dir sein für den 24 Stunden von den Grüne Halle. Und ja, das war ganz viel Spaß. Alle von dem Auto war ganz gut. Und ja, ja, das war ganz viel Spaß und das nochmal machen. So ja, danke für angucken heute und ich bin LSCM the Butler. Ciao.